Well, good morning, YouTube. Arizona RE here. Busting around on the Bonneville this weekend, and look at that. If you guys hadn't seen it, I posted up a video where I smashed together 5 days worth of commuting. I chose that particular week to do it in because the weather called for rain every day of the week, and it held true. So I hope you guys enjoyed that, but the result of that is, look at this, our snow-capped mountain, Mount Lemmon, got something like 20 inches of snow up at the base. I think that means they're going to open the ski lift, which is kind of cool because they don't get to do that every year. So way cool. Oh man, this is nice. I mean, this is the first time I've ridden in above 50-degree weather since I don't know, probably about a week ago. Yeah, it was about a week ago. I was out in the infield riding around up here in the same area, and that was about the last time it was 55, 60 degrees out that I was on the bike anyway. It's kind of peaked during the week while I was at work, but by the time I get on my bike and head home, it was raining and cold again every day. So this is a nice treat. The only issue is I think everyone else in the city decided to get in their car and go out for a ride as well. And yeah, traffic. Look at this goofball up here. I don't know if you can see him hanging out the window with his camera, taking pictures of the snow up on the mountain. I guess I'm no different. I just have my camera strapped to my chin. But it's just kind of funny how people in the desert react to rain and snow and whatnot. Get a look at the Instagram of AZ Ninja Guy. He's got snow piled up in his yard all over his car. That's kind of funny. Look at that. Oh, it's beautiful. So once again, the face of these mountains changes throughout the season. You'd think something so solid, so stationary, wouldn't have so much character to it, but there it is. Wrapped in a blanket of clouds right now. You can't even see the very top. Let's see if we can't get a little closer. Come on, folks, that's a green arrow. All right, I'll go. For crying out loud, we're just going to sit through an arrow? People back there still ain't taken off yet. Weird. I don't usually jump to the front of the queue, but if you're going to snooze at the light, I'll take it. Too many people got their nose in their phones. Saturdays with Snowbirds. For those of you that don't know what a snowbird is, those of us that live in the southern portion of the United States certainly do. And that is, a snowbird is someone who goes south for the winter from the north. So they're northerners, you know, Montana, Chicago, Washington, whatever. And they come down here during the colder months. And of course, when they come down here, you know, a lot of them are retirees and whatnot. And nothing against retirees, but those of you that know how to drive. But they get down here and they drive around slack-jawed and amazed at the way traffic works. I don't know what their malfunction is, but they typically clog up our streets pretty good. I mean, probably one of the worst things is because they're from a northern state, they think they're better equipped to deal with the rain and snow and stuff like that when it hits the ground down here. And, you know, normally I might agree with you and agree with them on that. However, the streets and the vehicles down here aren't equipped for that kind of weather. So just because you're mentally equipped and you're used to driving it, say back in Montana or Michigan or wherever the heck you happen to be from, doesn't mean that the surface of the streets here are made with the same materials. surely there's nobody driving around with snow tires on their cars. And you have to contend with the fact that nobody else here knows how to drive around in that kind of stuff, because those of us that are from Arizona and live in Arizona don't regularly drive or ride in that kind of stuff. So when you go out there with all that overconfidence, it tends to cause issues. Oh man, I just love this bike. Is it fair to say I love all three of the bikes in my garage? Is that fair? I mean, because whenever I'm on the Tiger, I just can't imagine anybody ever wanting anything else but. And then I hop on this Bonneville, and I think to myself, this is such an excellent bike. Why would anybody want anything else? Then, of course, there's the infield, who, of course, has my heart. That's as simple as that. So it's just, it's funny. I don't know. I guess, yeah, I'd say it's fair. Look at that. That's beautiful. So yeah, now I'm wondering, is it okay for me to have this triad, this love affair with 3 motorcycles? I suppose it's better than having motorcycles in the garage you don't love, right? Yeah, I can't even imagine guys like Sean Smoke. I think he's got 5 or 6 bikes. Plus, I think he gets a demo ride from where he works as well. So at any given time, he'll have 4 or 5 or 6 bikes in his garage, and boy, he seems to dole out the affection and appreciation on each of them every time he gets on them. So I guess it's not that bad. Look at that. Oh, I just love it up in here. For those of you that are wondering, this is the scenic Ventana Canyon. The Ventana Canyon area in Tucson, Arizona, up in northeast Tucson, up in the foothills. We call it Ventana Canyon, and that's just how we pronounce it, but it's actually Ventana, and Ventana in Spanish means window, so this is Window Canyon up here. I find that in Tucson, everybody is fairly familiar with everything being named Spanish names. After all, this area was originally settled by, aside from the Native Americans, was originally settled by the Spanish, and hence why so many things are named Spanish names. And the interesting thing about that, though, is that a lot of the pronunciation has been, anglicized, perhaps. For example, just south of here is the Tanque Verde area. Now, it's common for everyone in Tucson to call it Tanque Verde. Tanque Verde, Tanque Verde. But if you were to speak it in Spanish, it's Tanque Verde, which is green tank. And I kind of laugh about that, because it's just the way everybody in Tucson does it. Even those that speak Spanish, they do it as well. They talk about Palo Verde Road, Palo Verde. Well, it's Palo Verde, and Palo Verde is green branch or green tree. So it's just kind of interesting the way that works around here. I have an aunt and some cousins that live in Georgia. And it's going to be a little place east of Atlanta, outside of Augusta, and out there they call it Martinez. It's Martinez, Georgia, Martinez. Now, anybody looking at that nowadays would know that it's Martinez, but nope, out there in Georgia it's Martinez. So, hey, to each their own. You know what, folks? I'm just going to finish enjoying this ride. Thanks for coming along with me and seeing the snow up in the foothills. Here, enjoy this picture. Talk to you guys soon. Bye-bye. Come on, taxi cab. Freaking taxi cab. Man, I'm pulling off. I gotta let this bozo get out from in front of me.